Blogtalk Radio.
Hello, and welcome to Diva of Days of Our Lives. Tonight we're going to be talking about the last week of the show, but before we do, make sure you check out our blog at divaofdool.com and check out all our interviews and all our shows here on Blogtalk Radio. And we'll also find us on Twitter at Diva of DOOL, where Carrie tweets as the Diva, and we're also on Facebook at Diva of DOOL, and Carrie also has a fan page there. She can't be with us tonight. She's busy. And so we have, I think, Anna. Hi, Anna.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, yes. And we can find you where?
At
on Twitter?
On Twitter. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm Marianne, and you can find me at Mama_Hooch. And, of course, Carrie the Diva is at Diva of DOOL. And we have Jen with us tonight. Hi, Jen.
Hi, ladies. Hey, how's it going? I'm
good,
at
pretty good. Where
JDK at Twitter.
Okay. And you can also find our friends of ours at Bob Hapka and at Amy Hapka on Twitter. I think they're still there, and I know they're on Facebook a lot. And also follow at Lauren Coslow and at Teo Penglis and at Kilt Trip USA, who is Ian Buchanan. So, did everybody watch the show this week?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. Of course, I guess the biggest thing is Chabby Chabby got married and left the show. Well, they left the show, but they left, and the way they kind of explained it was they got back together, and Chad asked Abby to marry him, and he also told her that he was done, and he was fighting with Stefan. He was just going to give Stefan the reins here, and he called that Mr. Shen, I think his name is Chen or Chin or whatever, and he agreed to let him run the Paris office, although we've never seen the Paris office, but there's offices all over the world. That's where they send people off, to work in there. I think Sonny did that. Didn't Sonny work somewhere for
Kyriakis.
I think he went to Kyriakis.
It's got to be like London or Hong Kong.
So when you want to go off somewhere and they don't kill you.
It's like Carrie and Austin are in Switzerland or the continent of Africa,
right.
Somewhere there.
Yeah.
Doing good, doing medical good deeds over there.
Yeah, unless you get killed or sent to an island or something like that. But anyway,
yeah.
So I just thought we'd start with that. So they had to put this. He had to leave that night. The thing is he told Abigail, we have to leave that night. But he also wanted to marry her before they left. So they had to put together this quick wedding, and she had to go tell.
The fastest wedding ever.
Yes, she had to go tell Jen and Julie, I think, was there, and so she had to say, she had good news and bad news. The good news is she's back. She says, "What do you want first?" And they said, "The bad news." They wanted the bad news first, that she would be moving to Paris, but then they found out that she was going to get married, and they had to get this wedding pulled together. Of course, they did pull it together and had it right there in the living room. There. So before talk more about the wedding, maybe Anna, if you wanted to. So they had a couple guests at the wedding. Abby wanted Jack to be there, so Jennifer had to go find Jack to invite him, and Chad wanted Kate. So did you want to maybe talk about their scene where he went to see Kate in the hospital.
Kate was in the hospital from the beginning of the week. She had been poisoned by Jordan, and so she was recovering nicely after a day or two in there. And Chad came by, and he basically, it was so poignant. I mean, I don't remember word for word, but basically he was like, I realize I'm so blessed right now. I've got my wife back and my baby, my Charlotte and Thomas and everything. And I just want you, I just want you to know that I basically forgive you for, all the stuff that she did basically with Gabi and, stuff conspiring, all that. That he forgave her, and she was like, of course, she was touched. And they just had some really lovely dialogue. And he said, well, and also I just wanted to let you know, we're getting remarried and we're doing that today. And you're basically my only relative, the only person I consider family in town. And so we'd really be honored to have you come to the wedding. I'd really love for you to be there if you can. And the nurse had already said that before Chad got there, the nurse had already made the comment that she was getting released that day. So that all worked out nicely. So, anyway, so Kate was there, and you could see they were milling around and stuff and being seated and all. It's like Chad did pay attention to her and stuff, and kind of, they just had some poignant scenes. So they really wrapped up their story together nicely, because she had always treated him like a son, and of course she hated having to be deceptive and going behind his back when Stefan was blackmailing her, and then when she was trying to help Gabi, didn't really want to help Gabi but did, So it was just really, I'm just so glad that they didn't blow off Kate and all of that Horton excitement extravaganza. I'm so happy that the writers honored Chad and Kate's relationship. That was really, I was really pleased with that. And, it does beg the question, do you think they would have...
No, go ahead. You think what?
No, I was just going to be kind of...
I was going to say he wanted to start anew, he told Kate. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he
Yeah, and he wanted to, like, since he was starting new with Abby, he wanted to start all over again with her and just put everything behind him. Yeah, so that was nice.
Oh, she was just like the look on her face, and she was just so touched.
Yeah. So now, what was that about starting, you were wondering something?
No, I was just going to be smart. I was just going to be snarking this whole them leaving town really quickly. It begs the question, would they have left so quickly if they knew that Stefan was being replaced soon? But anyway, no. That was just an outside the box comment, or outside the show comment. No, but so go ahead.
And you said about him bringing her in and paying attention to her, and this was I saw in the Land of Cause made this comment, which I thought was really funny. She did put her. He said, and he placed her on the throne, meaning she had the seat. She took that chair that Mrs. H sat in, and that's where Chad had her sit. And I didn't realize that until I was kind of like reading through the tweets, and she said that on there. That's right. He sat her right there on the most important chair. Basically.
That's neat.
In the
I didn't
Horton
realize that. That's cool.
house. Yeah, I didn't realize that either, and
so
I thought, that was a good point.
She is the Queen of Salem, so that was really cool. That's really neat. That's a really good observation.
My question is, whose love life is Kate going to meddle with now?
Well, I really wish Kate would get out of the meddling business. For a while, she actually had a life of her own and wasn't meddling.
Yeah, she needs a man again.
She needs to have her own man again, I think, is what we need.
She needs her man to come back. She needs her man to come back.
So it was a sweet thing, and it was, they did a good job on doing a quickie wedding, Oh, that was nice. It was really kind of like back in the old days, just like that. They're married. They're gone. Whoa! But I thought it went off without a hitch. I thought and I think they handled it really well as far as getting everybody involved, and they did kind of like a family would do, like, okay, we got to put this together in 2 hours, folks, let's get to it. And
right.
They just had everybody kind of take care of things, different things. And
and speaking of the wedding fashion,
we haven't played.
Yeah, and and they all looked at like with the wedding fashion, like we haven't talked fashion for a while.
Right.
Kate was like,
I loved her pants.
Her dress was
Kate's dress was gorgeous.
Her dress was gorgeous.
Dress.
I think she kind of upstaged the bride a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
But but Kate,
she kind of plain, but I liked the pantsuit. I thought that was pretty.
Yes, I thought that was a good choice. The white pantsuit. I think she looked really nice in that, and Julie looked fabulous in her like that silver grayish type dress. And how did you like Jen's blue dress? I kind of liked it, but there's Jen with her Jennifer with her short sleeves. Again.
Oh, but yeah. I forgot.
I liked her hair. I liked how she had her hair. Jennifer.
Her hair was pretty.
I did, and she looked. Yeah.
Of
course, she had the kids. She had to watch the kids. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Can I make a comment about when you said the kids? Can I do a little venting here? And I want to see if I'm being overly sensitive here. But okay, so if we back it up a few episodes, where was it this week that they got Charlotte back already? I mean, was it? I'm trying to remember, like
the blanket.
Monday was when. The what?
The blanket.
Okay, so here's my. Yeah. What about the blanket? Oh, yeah. What about it?
That's all we've seen is the blanket. We haven't seen Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have seen Charlotte, but they usually put her
there.
in that blanket, and it's a fake. No. I mean, it's a fake doll half the time. But we have seen her.
Yeah, but we haven't
seen Charlotte.
No, and we did it at the first.
Not lately.
Right. We haven't seen a real baby.
But here's the thing. Did it bug anybody else, or is it just me being overly sensitive that both? Okay, so you just get your brand new baby back. You think you might never see your baby again. You get her back and pawn her off on grandma and go and have, like, sex with your ex-husband.
Yep.
And, like, start planning your life and everything. And then it's like, oh, yeah, I'm so glad mom's with the baby right now, or whatever. And it's like, and then the next day, somebody has the baby.
Yeah.
And I'm just, like, thinking to myself, it reminded me, and there's a dual track here. Don't let me forget the second part. It reminded me of when Sammy was pregnant with the twins, and Stefano had her on the plane, and they didn't know where they were taking her, and they were trying to figure out. And John and Marlena go over to, like, I think it was was it her apartment or something? They're sitting on the couch. Everybody else is left, and they're all, like, freaking out because Sammy's got these twins, and he's trying to steal the twins and all this. And they just start making out like school kids, like giddy, like high school kids on the couch. Meanwhile, their daughter, her daughter, pregnant as all get out with twins, is missing and held captive by Stefano. Yeah. So that irritated me. So it kind of reminded me a little. I mean, I'm glad they did the reunion, but I think it would have been nice if she'd held her baby for more than a minute. Okay, it's like, oh yeah, she's back. Let me pass her off to somebody. It's like, are they attempting to go for the Sammy Brady Award? And then Hope is the other one. Here she thinks her teenager.
Yeah, where was Hope?
Teenager could be. I mean, not her teenager. Her 20-year-old or however she is could be dead. They rescue her. They get her back, and she's in a hospital room. And granted, there had to be some drama with, Jordan and all that going on.
Of course.
But Hope could have been by her side at least for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And but she's back.
She did come in and kiss her.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying. I'm sorry, but do you think that kind of helicopter mom that she seems to be, although she's never really there for Ciera, but she just likes to worry about her all the time.
Yeah.
And it was like in the same episode or the same, basically the episode or two, I thought, my gosh, they've both been like worried sick about their daughters missing a brand new baby and a 20-year-old or whatever. And yet they both just like, oh yeah, well now Ciera's in the hospital, she's safe. Oh, I was just like, well, in fact, somebody even said, I don't know if it was Rafe or Gilles, Ted, one of them said something, you need to stop working. You need to be with your daughter. And so she did go in there for a little bit, but I just thought it was really, it just jumped out at me as kind of annoying that they just like, oh yay, they're alive now, back to work. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be working or back to their romantic life or whatever, you know. I just, it just annoyed me. And then with you know, Hope, it was between the two men and all that, Rafe and Ted, and I'm just like, aren't you going to go check on your kid? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't know.
Kissing Ted.
So I just had to
Ted
get those off my.
And she wasn't at the wedding either. You think Hope would be at the wedding, and Maggie. More Hortons there. But anyway, it was just, I guess, the immediate, basically just the immediate family.
I guess so.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think that's kind of what it was. Yeah.
That's weird. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah.
And I have to say something about the vows, and also I have to say something about Billy Flynn, because I've been kind of ragging on him because he hasn't been the greatest lately with his stuttering and stuff. Yeah. But I'll tell you, with these last scenes of his exit, why couldn't he have been really more good. Like what we just saw? I mean, his vows were, I mean, there was that crying, and that was the Billy that first came on. And I thought he did well.
He was really good.
So I have to give him kudos.
I thought so too.
These last scenes
I actually became kind of aware of it, like, wow, he's really got his stuff together for these last episodes.
So, you know, it's like I don't know if it was just because it was this last episode and he was leaving, but I thought he did a good job, and well, so did Kate Mansi, but I mean, with their, and I loved the one scene, I don't know if you guys I'm sure you caught it, where he said to her on his vows something, a love like ours only comes around once in a lifetime, and they panned to Doug, and he pointed at Julie.
That was
and I thought
sweet.
That was. Did you see that, Jen? Did you guys notice
that?
Or?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that was part of his vows, and when they did that.
That was really
That was
sweet.
like really something. That was I noticed that, and then I guess Abigail said she was going to go first, and she said, "Well, I guess I drew the short end of the straw," and Chad said, "Well, I have to follow you." No, I think I, drew the short end of the straw.
Yeah.
So there's kind of little cute exchanges, and of course, Abby asked Julie to officiate the wedding. Because Julie was like their biggest supporter. Yeah, she didn't get to do Hope.
So I thought the writing was really good for a lot of that, because that made
I caught a lot of different things. Yeah, I thought it was a short little wedding, but it was done well.
A shout out to history, like they had JJ's guitar there, and I thought, oh, he's going to play some music while he's there. I just thought it was really neat. Like they wrote it like a real family would throw it together at the last minute. Julie's like, "Oh, I got flowers. I got to source for flowers. Easy, no problem."
She got the flowers.
And
and a little bit of music.
Abigail's like, Mom, can you go and invite and tell JJ what's going on, and invite, make sure he comes, and make sure let Dad know, and some of them want to be here. And I thought it was sweet because Jack was like, I don't think she really wants to be there because I really screwed up when the baby was missing. And Jennifer's like, she specifically asked me to invite you. So I thought that was neat. And I thought he was sweet at the wedding, trying to be anyway. So
yeah, and he kind of interrupted, and you were thinking, oh, he's going to say something bad, but he didn't.
Yeah.
So he kind of more or less was thanking her, and
nice.
So that's good.
Yeah. Oh. And I thought Jennifer was being realistic. I mean, they wrote her to be like, okay, she's jumping in and trying to take care of the kids for her while she gets us all together, and so typical, grandma, being there. And then she also, you could tell. I mean, I could feel like when she was saying goodbye and all, I was thinking, oh, we've all kind of had that feeling, whether our family member was going 2 hours away or 2,000 miles away. It's like that feeling of having to say goodbye to like your nieces and nephews.
How did you like
or
the
your
goodbye?
Yeah.
And they were all standing at the door, the three of them, Julie and Doug and Jen, kind of looking as they were going there. Oh,
right.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
Anything else, Jen, about the wedding? Did you like it, or? Anything
that kid
you wanted to add?
Boy.
What was that?
Hmm?
The little boy they got to play, what's his name? Oh, my God. Thomas?
Oh, yeah, the little boy, Thomas.
He's cute.
Yeah, he's cute. He did the rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I also like how Julie said, you know how they always say you may kiss your bride?
Yep, I love it.
She said you may kiss your husband.
Yeah,
yes,
I love
they did.
that.
They turned it around, and yes, because it's always having the man kiss your bride. So I like that how she. Yeah, there's a lot of things there. The wedding. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. But yeah, so Chad and then right after, then Chad was he had come over to the DiMera mansion to get his stuff, and his last scene was talking to Stefano, talking to the picture. And they talked to the picture.
Oh, that's right.
And he more or less says, "Oh, I'll probably be back someday. You never know. I could be back someday." So I tweeted this out to NBC and whatever, the powers be, and I said, well, now since Chad said goodbye to Stefano, we need Tony and or Andre, Teo Penglis, to come back and say hello to Daddy.
Hello,
Daddy.
That's
a great tweet. Oh, right.
Yeah, so I thought that was, because he always calls him Daddy, when he tweets about him or whatever. So, yeah. So, but I thought that was.
And I also liked that. I think this was before the wedding, when they were standing in the living room talking about stuff. I also just like Chad went and forgave Kate. Abigail forgave her mom and her brother and stuff for, she point blank said, Mom, I understand. I had broken twice. And she goes, I understand, I don't remember exact words, but she basically said, that she forgave her because, she was carrying around all that anger and everything about being betrayed by her family. And so I thought it was neat the way they left Salem kind of with a clean, we're starting a fresh life, and we don't want to.
There's room for them to come back,
Yeah, of course. Chad doesn't give a crap what happens.
The Penguins just scored.
Oh, they did. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's real commitment to watch the Pens game.
Yeah. A little footnote. Yeah, the hockey game, the Pens and the Flyers are playing.
Is your hubby at that one?
Yeah, he's at that. It's an outdoor. It's called the Stadium Series. They're actually playing outdoors in Philadelphia. The Pens and the Flyers.
Oh, man. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, back to the show. Everybody forgave everybody, I think is what it was, starting their new life and everything.
Although Chad didn't forgive Gabi. Did you notice that?
No, nobody's forgiven Gabi. Yeah. Oh, and getting that now, since she's furious, since Chad gave up DiMera and Stefan fired her, told her to get the hell out of the house. So they had that going on, and then of course Stefan's all upset, and he has, that Abby's leaving, and now he doesn't have any chance with Gabi. Although I do like him with Chloe. Chloe's there, although everybody's warning her to stay away. I guess if we didn't know she was leaving, that would be that could be a good matchup. So.
I agree. If we didn't know she was leaving, that would be interesting.
Well, yeah, but we kind of know you kind of can't get it. Although there looks like the writers might have been going that way, but we know she's not going to stay.
Well, the way Chloe, though, when she walked in and saw him, wasn't he throwing a temper tantrum?
Yeah, he did. He threw all the chess pieces down.
Oh crap!
She saw the rage.
My kids are going to be around this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it you could tell she registered that thought of, I thought we'd be safe here, but I don't know I don't think I want my kids around that. So the look she gave was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how about Jordan and Ben. Did you think
wow.
she did? I'm not. What did you think she did? I thought she did a good job of when she was talking to Rafe.
So too.
Of the really
good.
mentally disturbed person.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you felt
she did a good job.
You kind of like felt for her.
Yeah.
She was like really, truly in pain.
She finally confessed. And I mean, what I love too, again, picking up on the history and their, getting those nuances that we all love so much. Like, remember when Clyde used to insinuate that she had done more than just wreck the car? That she, that he insinuated.
We just thought it was an accident.
And she would get mad at him or upset. Well, it's interesting how, once she had that accident a year ago and had to be in the hospital for a long time in rehab or whatever, it triggered her memory of what really happened. And I just thought that was excellent. I mean, first I thought, well, it's kind of dumb sending Rafe, her ex-boyfriend, in to interrogate her. I thought that was kind of dumb at first, but boy, that was actually really good. And when he's sitting there thinking, oh shit, she killed her mom and their unborn baby, like that, I mean, this is
and she
years ago.
thinks, and in her mind, she thinks she was doing a good thing.
Trying to right.
Yeah, she was protecting them, and he said, no, you caused their death.
Okay.
You killed them.
The writing on that was incredible. How she talked about the garden and how how her mom explained things, and then that when Clyde came around, he ended up bulldozing that. I mean, I thought it was an excellent piece of writing. I can't remember if it was Coolican or who it was that did that episode, but it was excellent writing, and she did an excellent. And I got to say, coming from somebody who could not stand the character of Jordan the entire time she was on before, I have to give it to Chriselle. She did an outstanding job.
Of playing her this way. Yeah, that was a good.
Mm-hmm.
So of course they carted her off to Bayview, and of course now we have Ben rethinking. He's not sure of himself until Ciera. He's afraid that part of him came out again, because he said he was going to kill her. He says, I was going to kill her.
Shop. Yeah. Well, and then as he's at the cop shop, going to see her because he felt like he should go see her, as she's being carted off, she's saying, it's not your fault. It's just who you are. You are Clyde. You turned into your dad, to Clyde, and so that just bolsters his concern.
That's who you are. Yeah.
Like he even told Ciera, I think you need to go stay with your mom when you get out of the hospital. Stay there for a while instead of going to the loft. Like he's almost afraid to be alone with her right now.
Well, so can you see this coming? He's going to break up with her and saying, I'm no good for you. And it's kind of like what Bo did to Hope years ago, because he was all, I'm not good for you. I'm not right for you because, you're come from different backgrounds and all that, because somebody had pointed that out, that it's exactly what Bo did all those years ago. Kind of pulled away, from Hope because he felt he wasn't. What's that, Jen?
He was trying to save Roman because Roman was being accused of being a serial killer or something. And he wanted Hope out of the way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I think they're all doing.
And
then we have. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. That's okay. Then we have.
And what? Then we have. What did you think about the ending? With
that's what I was,
Claire.
That's exactly where I was going to go.
Oh, is that what you're going to say? 'Cause the other one that maybe has mental problems.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So didn't we talk last week about how? Or no, you and I talked earlier in the week about.
Does it make sense to you? It doesn't make sense.
So, okay. Well, it's weird, but I know, earlier in the week, I saw that the I can never say his name, Carvalotti, had tweeted in response to some people because Soap Opera Digest spilled the beans on the ending of this week's shows.
Before it aired. Okay.
You can tell people were pissed because none of us would have seen it coming. None of us. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And so I'm pissed too because I would have preferred not to know either. I would have rather have seen it without knowing what they were going to do. So I think Soap Opera Digest needs to knock the crap off with stuff like that. That was they did that when they did that. Remember when
they did
Leanne
it for something else too?
Ago? Yeah, when Leanne came back and they did the glove or whatever, and then it ended up being her.
So how are they finding out? They have to have somebody. A mole in the studio that knows this?
The thing is, okay, the truth of the matter is a lot of people have to know when people have returned because of the whole production thing. So Soap Opera Digest knows but they could choose not to spill it. That's what pisses me off.
Not to do it.
They've probably known for a while on.
Because they do spoil a lot of stuff. Because they'll say what's coming up.
I mean, I don't mind the little spoilers that tell you the basic things that might be coming up the next week or whatever. But when it's that big of a reveal like that, which we all know
like
we
any
can't
kind
stand
of
Claire, so it's not like, but it wasn't. But it was like as she's like reflecting. You know, she's at Ciera's bedside and she takes Ciera some key lime pie, and she's acting all nice. And then she's like, "Well, can you forgive me?" And you forgave. You forgave Ben. Can you forgive me? And Tripp's forgiven me. And just like, and so Ciera said, "Okay, well, yes, but if anything like that ever happens again, the bet's off. The deal's off." And so they were all kind of in a happy space. And then as they were like going, well, somehow I guess because of all the Ben and Jordan stuff, they're like, so who set that fire the first time and all? And they start talking about it. And then all of a sudden, Claire. Eyes, you could tell something's going on, and
it's that look.
Then she's getting this look, and then she has like a flashback to her showing up to that cabin and lighting the fire with standing there knowing that Ciera was not conscious. And
now it did.
And I thought,
it show her lighting the fire, or she just had the lighter in her hand?
I think so.
I think it was the lighter.
Did it show her actually setting the fire, though? Or just standing there with the lighter? I can't remember.
Standing with the lighter.
Yeah.
Just standing with the lighter.
But my question is, how the heck did she know where to find Ciera?
Yes, that's the big question. How did she know she was there?
How did she find her when nobody else could find her? How did she know?
Right.
Yeah, so
somebody was saying something about something with Ciera's phone, and she could do something with the computer. I don't know. Somebody, I saw that online, but they haven't explained that. So they
track with the phone.
Find the phone? Mm-hmm.
Something with the phone, Jen?
Yeah, Hope put a tracking on her phone.
Okay.
But then why couldn't Hope find her?
Yeah.
I mean, she was there with Ben for a long time before they were found. I mean, before they got out, so.
Maybe this is just another twist. Maybe it wasn't Claire, because it just shows her standing there with the lighter with a funny look, but
the way she was looking, she was thinking, "Oh shit, I did that." Oh,
I know. But that's just like, the thing is, does it make sense? I thought Claire was messed up, but I didn't think she was that messed up that she would kill Ciera.
They're obviously writing her off. I mean, they're obviously writing her off.
Right.
So maybe they've figured out a way to do it.
There's other ways to write her off. Just send her home to her parents.
I know.
She's going home. Break up with Tripp and go home to Belle and Sean. Like, why do this?
But that was a really good, that was
weird.
Like a whoa.
I guess you need a shocker maybe to send her off.
Yeah.
That would be, I guess, a good thing,
That was
but it's not like making sense.
She does, honestly, she does act kind of psychotic sometimes. I mean, she's so upset.
Well, she's like way out there.
So upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see how she went off the handle about Haley?
I wouldn't have thought she would try I wouldn't have
so
thought
insecure.
She would try to kill her. I mean, that's her aunt. It's not just her friend. It's her and roommate. That's her aunt, right?
It's family. Yeah,
so,
and they always got along, and that's a little twisted. Like,
and
I said, wait a minute, this is Belle and Sean's kid, John and Marlena's granddaughter, and they're going there.
Like, there's nobody else crazy in their family? Is that what they, Marianne?
Yeah, well, I don't know. They all crazy. Yeah.
Anyway,
Sammy, but Sammy did all those things, but she never did that kind of. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sammy wasn't that nuts. It was nuts.
I can't believe
he had a moment.
I mean, I think that's like.
Oh, that's right. She shot EJ.
Okay,
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing that's so weird.
Heard about
so
that.
okay, so remember how much she protested when Ciera was going to let him stay there because he was homeless. Remember after they got back from all that, and she was just like apoplectic about it at first because you're going to let a serial killer live here, which I get that concern. But I'm thinking all along she was the one that tried to kill Ciera.
Mm-hmm.
Did she protest too much?
It could have been rewritten.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Of course, they could have just made Jordan, because it makes sense that Jordan's the one that would have done it the first time, but it wouldn't have been Jordan.
That's what they were speculating, yeah.
Right, they were speculating that that's who it would be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I just seemed off to me.
It did seem off and a surprise, but other than the fact we knew it was going to happen. But, I mean, we didn't know technically in the show until that moment. But,
right.
I mean,
and Trip doing it makes more sense, too.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. But, I mean, she is kind of like, she's very insecure and like obsessive, so I don't know. Yeah, like getting freaked out, like you guys said, about Haley and stuff. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very annoying.
It's scary that Haley is the only sane one in that age group.
Haley. Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, speaking of that storyline, I guess not Cassie. Eve overhears Melinda talking to Haley.
Yeah.
And finds out they're sisters, and she already knew about Haley being in the country illegally. So she runs to Jack right away. After Jack to tell him, because she knows we can use this against Melinda, get her out, get you in. And of course, Jack has just talked to JJ and promises him he will not say anything. But somehow Eve convinces him, you're doing this for JJ, or so I guess. Yeah. So there goes the relationship, I guess, with Jack and JJ. Puts that a little bit of conflict there.
Well, but he's not going to realize at first. He's going to think it's Jack, but it's really Eve that overheard all that.
It's really Eve, yeah.
I mean, because they even talked about her getting she even said to her, after I'm
mayor, Jack's going to let her do it,
I'll
though.
Find a way. Oh, okay. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But Jack could probably stop her. But then again, not really.
Well,
even if Jack said no, Eve would still do it.
Yeah.
Separate and apart from all the election stuff, he was legitimately concerned about JJ, given how vulnerable he is. And I love the fact that Jack and JJ have become closer. So, yeah, you can see this is a mile away. This is going to screw everything up. But I don't know. So.
Oh, how about Leo and Gabi?
Oh, why did we have to say they would be so perfect together?
What did he say? Something about their bitches? From one bitch to another or something? So what he said? Yeah.
They would be awesome.
She had him tied up that whole time while Will and Sonny were together. So she gave them a chance to be together. So, but their scenes are like, and then did you see she come in with the scissors?
Yep.
He's there. Not the family jewels, please. Oh, gosh. Camilla, she's done so well with that character of Gabi.
I told you she played the good psycho.
She is great.
She does.
She is wonderful.
Yeah. And she has scenes with just about every, she's had scenes and storylines with a lot of different people. But those are good with Leo. So then she lets Leo loose, and he comes in, and he turns around and has Sonny and Will arrested. So we have all that, so now Sonny and Will are sitting in the, so they can't go to the wedding, but Chad wanted to pull strings, and, Chad could have gotten him off somehow with his lawyers or whatever. But they said, no, we'll handle it. You go get married. Don't worry about us. And how'd you like their goodbyes?
Aww.
Yeah. And I had a laugh because I read somebody. Somebody tweeted, or I don't know if they tweeted or they said something on Facebook, a comment. They said something about, didn't those goodbyes remind you of what The Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy would go to each one and say what they, something special about the scarecrow and the, he said, Will, and then he went to, he went to Sonny, you're the best, And that was kind of, if you went back and watched that, that was kind of, except there wasn't 3, there was just those 2. But,
I hated that movie, so I was scared to death of it as a kid, so I haven't watched it.
How can you hate it? It scared me, but I still watched it.
Out of me. Hated it.
The damn monkey scared the heck out of me.
Won't ever watch it again, ever. So I did not remember that about it. Because
I loved being scared, though.
I hate that. Anyway, so, but
that's a happy ending, though.
They may have gotten it from that. But, okay, so I got to ask you something else. Have you ever noticed how Chad is always kissing the heads of these guys all the time? Like,
yes.
It's kind of sweet. But I mean,
Sonny especially.
Kind of annoying. I mean,
there's a bromance.
It's kind of cute. Like Sonny? Yeah. But I mean, he does that.
Yeah, mostly Sonny.
It's kind of cute. It's kind of cute, but like I noticed he didn't do it with other people. But it's like it's just I don't know. It's just funny. Like with Will and Sonny, he like kisses their cheeks and kisses their heads, their foreheads, like they're it's almost like I don't know. It's funny. But it's I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, if he's aware that he's doing it with them or what, but it's funny. I don't know. Because I noticed that when he was in scenes with some other people and saying goodbye, he didn't do that, but he definitely did it with them.
Yep.
I know they're his friends and all that, his longtime friends. So, but it's kind of cute and endearing. But on the other side, I always think it's interesting because I've noticed it other times, but it was more obvious in this episode this week because, they were saying goodbye and everything. So anyway, it just, it's cute. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I just think it's kind of funny.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we had that, and how they're gonna get off. I don't know. With Leo.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
Justin will get him off, I guess.
Okay. So are they gonna pretend like is John gonna be like, look, you're my son, get rid of you can't do this to my grandson and my I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna use that angle.
Well, Marlena still has to find out because. She's been.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
John's been trying to tell her, and Diana was going to tell her, but then Leo walked in, so she didn't get a chance to tell her. She was just itching to tell her. And Marlena was just giving her the looks, like, But I heard in the spoiler, she is trying to, and then John's at the pub and says to Roman, "Do you think Diana's trying to come between us?" It's like, these men in Salem are so stupid. They make them so clueless about women. Come on, John. Get a clue. God, he's as dumb as his son. He's as dumb as Brady. I see where he...
And since when does anyone in Salem take anybody else's word? Well, they might take their word for it at first, but since when is there not at least an average of 2.3 DNA tests for every person who comes back from the dead or comes back as a son or daughter or
John should be going to demanding one of those.
Who's the daddy? I know. I would hope that Marlena would be the brains of the operation and say, hold up, you're going to get a DNA just to make sure, test just to make absolutely sure. Of course, then somebody else, you never know. But anyway.
Yeah, you notice how everyone goes to Roman for advice and then they never listen to him?
It's always Roman, yeah.
Poor Roman. Like never listens. Oh, that's funny. That's such a good point. Poor guy.
And why would Roman know? He hasn't had anybody for so long.
poor guy. Anna DiMera was.
No, he was with Anna, I guess.
And he scared her
with
off
Anna.
or whatever. She left. She left town
yeah.
after a while. Anyway.
I would love to see him in scenes with Judith Chapman because they both do comedy really well. I would see them together.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There's a matchup. So.
Yeah, she found the real woman.
Oh yeah. So. Okay. So, we have one other thing. How about Sara? What is wrong with that girl? Did you see how she overreacted?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. When she was telling Eric about that night that Rex took his coworker home.
Yeah.
Then right away she's thinking,
gosh. Oh, my gosh.
And then she says, I'm going to get to the bottom. And she actually tries to call her up.
She does call her.
And
she says,
she does call her, but it's not her. It's my wife. Yes. So she was gay anyway. So she wasn't even after Rex.
Right.
It's like, yeah. Yeah. So if I was Eric, I would turn around and run the other way.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Acted.
I would say anyone. I mean, honestly, she's the perfect fit for Rex because he's so clueless. Otherwise, geez. Yeah. You know, it's interesting, though. Remember how Rex was saying one of the reasons he, cheated on her and says he never felt like he was good enough because she was always criticizing him and everything? She's not criticizing him now. I'd be like, look, you dumbass. Didn't you catch on to this or whatever? But she's not doing that now. So you would think she would fall back into her old pattern of that. But, I mean, I'd be like, look, girl, your life is a mess. You have no room to talk.
Very much.
You're criticizing me? Okay. Let's see how that works.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, did you ladies hear the rumor?
About?
Who's coming to Days?
No, not necessarily.
Robin Strausser.
Who?
Robin Strausser, Dorian Lord from One Life to Live.
Oh yeah, I did. Now that you say that, yeah. As Vivian.
I hope they good. She's really good.
She's
well, there was a picture of her in the makeup room.
Jen, she's really what?
She's a really good actress. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember her from back in the day.
Yeah.
She's a little loopy on Twitter, but yeah, I mean, okay, that'll be interesting. Did they say who she's playing?
I don't know, but I hope she's in scenes with Eve, because that would be really good.
Oh, that's
cool. People are speculating out there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. That should be interesting. See, I had a feeling he was going to start pulling people in from One Life to Live. Because, he had written for them for so long. But at least he hasn't, filled up the place with people. You know what I mean? It could have been overkill. But he's been good about not doing too much.
Yeah.
And plus, all these...
him well, Yeah,
right, yeah. Well, and Camilla, I didn't even know, Jen, until you said something. I had no idea she had been on One Life to Live. And she'd been on Days, of course, years before Ron ever came along. But I never knew that. So
A. Martinez played her father on One Life to Live.
That's right. I didn't know that either. But anyway, but yeah, that's I would say. Do they have a? Let's see. I would definitely say that Chriselle, as much as it pains me to say this, she did knock it out of the park this week. I have to admit. And, well, really, the last 2 or 3. Whenever she came on the scene, she's done a good job. I have to admit. And the writing was really good for it. So kudos to all of them for that. But yep. So overall, I think. Well, I will say this though. What I observed in my own watching, because I've been the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've actually been watching it typically that night because I'm God, I got to see what's going on. This crazy person and everything. And Monday, it reached came to a head because of, Rafe busting in and saving Jordan and, all that. Ben was about to kill her and, Ciera, Jordan was going after Ciera. That day was intense. And then did it seem at all to you like there was like the next day was really slow and boring? Of course, that was, I guess they were doing wasn't that the day after Valentine's Day on the show? They were all in bed with each other and stuff. But, so it was kind of nice. Okay, we get our, lovey-dovey stuff. But I was just kind of like having trouble keeping, focused. And then it seemed like maybe 2 days this week I was like snooze fest. But otherwise, but I will say leading up to it, the story's been pretty good, I got to say. So. Now, the real question is how many more times can that cabin be burned down before they have to get a new set?
That's the wrecking ball.
You would think by now that the police, the Salem PD would have that on their things, that if anybody goes missing,
on
that's
their
the
radar
first place they would check.
Roped off, or nobody can get in there.
Maybe make it a designated historical society house or something, and don't let anybody go in there again or something. I don't know. That was kind of funny.
And another point about the with Rex and Eric and Sara. Eric told her the story about the donuts when he was with Jennifer, when she was dating that other guy, and he told her stay away from the donuts. So what does Rex bring back? Instead of blueberry pie, he brings a box of donuts.
Yeah, he thought it was a pie. He opens it up and there's donuts.
And they give this box of donuts to Eric, and then they go back to the bedroom. Yes, and then he takes a bite of a donut. Poor Eric.
Okay, to me, I'm thinking to myself, you got a whole guest wing of the Kyriakis mansion, or Casa Kyriakis, and she's like,
go back to Mom's
Eric's house. Eric's got Eric can sit in the living room and hear everything that's going on.
Right.
I'm just saying that's so cruel, they're kind of in his face about it, and they're acting like they have no clue that Eric cares for her. But you got to be dumb as a box of rocks to not know that.
They are.
So I'm just kind of like, touche. But it's like they got the whole Kyriakis mansion they could sneak into at the end of the evening. I just think that's so weird. I don't know. It's just weird to me. Obviously they're doing it to increase the dramatic effect of rubbing it in his nose, so to speak. But so I could just see Eric sitting there, the bubble thought, okay, I get it. I get screwed with another thing of donuts, and that's all I get. All I get is this lousy box of donuts. Oh.
Well, I don't know. I think we've covered everything.
Yeah.
Looking at my notes, I don't know.
Pretty well.
So, yeah.
Pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
All righty.
Anything else? All right. Well, thanks for.
Was there any news? You brought up that rumor.
Any other news?
Is there any other news? Yeah. Or anything on the show?
I hear Sherry.
What?
I saw on the message board that Sherry Anderson left.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she posted that. Yeah, so I don't know how she left, why she left, but I don't know.
Yeah. She was back to doing script writing for a while.
I think so.
Her script writer section. Yeah, she was consultant with Ryan for a while, and then they moved her name over to the scriptwriter screen of the credits. And so I noticed that she had rotated around and done some of the scripts, some of the daily scripts. But who knows? But yeah. All right.
All right. Okay. Well, see you next week, I guess.
One more thing. I have one more thing, though. One more thing. I just remembered. One more Kate thing. We glossed over it because I jumped over it to talk about Chad. But I personally laughed my butt off the way she was treating Haley. Now, I would never treat a nurse like that myself, but she cracked me up. Kate was so dismissive of her. And I knew, you know what, I knew the line before Kate even said it, when she'd said, well, you know, I tried to kill myself and, you know, I took too many pills and blah, blah. And the next thing I thought of was, Kate's going to say she was a different nurse and she can't even be trusted with medication. And then she says, well, if I'm here tomorrow, you know, I just want you to know that I really prefer to have another nurse, one that doesn't, like, have a problem with medications or something like that. But she cracked me. Kate was being such a little witch to her. It cracked me up. And again, I think nurses do God's work on earth. When I was in the hospital and everything, they were like literally angels to me. So I totally, and you know, Sherry is the RN, from part of our Diva family, so I would never do that in real life or tell someone to do that or be happy that someone did that. But it being Kate, it cracked me the hell up. It really did.
It was for her.
What's that?
It was perfect in character for her.
Yes,
exactly.
It's in character. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I that was on my notes, and I wasn't looking at my notes. I just happened to think about it.
Oh, okay.
All righty. I had to get that in. All right.
Okay.
It's good, girl.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right. Go pens. Good luck with your pens. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Lucky Land Slots, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.